Welcome to the Grovecast, a municipal podcast hosted by the City of Cottage Grove. We are here to demystify city government, make it more accessible, while also showcasing the real human beings who work every day providing services to residents. I am your co-host, Phil Jentz, the city's communications manager.
And Phil, I'm Emily Schmitz, the city's community development director.
Emily, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Phil.
I don't know what episode we're on. 5, I think?
They're blending together, which is kind of cool.
Are they blending together?
Yeah. Well, at the first one, I'm like, oh my, this is...
So now we're 5 in.
Now we're 5 in. Now it's like riding a bike.
Are you loving it? Having fun?
Oh, yeah. We've learned all sorts of good stuff about these directors in this community and the things that they do. They're actual people.
Real people, real stories. Yeah. Listeners in Germany and Singapore and all over the place. It's wild. Super
seriously.
Fun.
And Phil, even folks like at City Hall, they're just like, oh, I listen to the podcast.
I do get some comments from time to time.
I should not admit this, but I'm always mystified. I'm like, you did? Cool. So,
somebody even said they wished it was longer. So maybe future episodes it'll be like a 2-hour whole epic thing.
You know, we'll do a special, Phil.
Ooh, a special. I like that.
People do holiday specials.
I'm into it. Well, so building off of holidays.
Right.
Food is often the best thing to talk about during the holiday season, right?
Always.
So we've talked about favorite foods. We've talked about superpowers. Just to break the ice, we're now 5 episodes in. Do you have any different favorite foods now that we're as we're recording this, it's towards the end of the summer. So I don't know if maybe you've smoked some awesome ribs or what's your new favorite?
You know, you're making me feel bad, Phil, because everybody has said, you got to get a smoker. You got to get a smoker. And maybe this is going off topic of, the Grovecast, but it's a skill that I would like to learn. I've not learned yet. So, Phil, perhaps I will put that on the bucket list. And I'll have something different to say. But over this summer, it was a long story, but I do raise pasture-raised chickens. Can I throw that plug in there? Is that appropriate? But we've really enjoyed fresh chicken all summer, so I'm really into that. I'll probably eat myself out of it, and then for a while be like, you know what? We need some beef or something.
So future skill.
Right.
A barbecue master.
Correct.
Is in your future.
Not just Instapot and hard-boiled eggs.
I support Instapot and hard-boiled eggs. There's nothing wrong with that. And then superpowers, I think we want to, fly and zip
I was
time
invisible.
Invisible and flying.
I'm fine. I would keep that.
There is nothing wrong with that.
No.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Phil, are you still into French fries?
Who isn't?
Okay, just checking. I don't know.
I mean...
He woke up today and you were just like, Captain Crunch today.
Captain Crunch is a great cereal, right?
Yeah.
Maybe next time we'll talk about favorite cereals.
I cannot wait until we introduce our guests today.
Let's get to it.
They are over there just
waiting to jump in.
What did I get into? This is fantastic.
Well, with us today, Emily, thanks for the segue, none other than Public Safety Director and Police Chief Pete Koerner. Pete, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me, Phil.
How you doing today, Pete?
Good. You guys really went off topic, and I will tell you I did have a bowl of Captain Crunch with berries this morning.
Did you really?
You did not.
Yep, Scout's honor.
No
That's what I have
way.
for breakfast.
I don't believe you.
I will send you a picture when I get home of the box in the cupboard.
You started your day off right.
I did.
I am impressed, Pete.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how you make it through. All right. This is the secrets of the Public Safety Department. Always
it's
start
fueled
with
by
Captain
cereal.
Crunch,
Health
berries.
food, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you through, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No judgment.
Well, Pete, just to break the ice, we're talking about food. We're talking about cereal that you had this morning, which I love. I support. How about superpowers? What's your go-to you had superpower? And it can be anything.
That's a really hard-hitting, tough. I thought we were gonna talk more about my job. And
we'll get to that.
Me.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Pete, we gotta verify you're a real person.
Oh yeah. I don't know if this would really be a superpower, but I think maybe just to be able to go back in time and redo some things, or say goodbye to some people that I would, or something.
Isn't that what they always say? If only I knew then what I know now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what. So Zach Doctor, our Parks and Recreation Director, was on last time, and I think that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
He referenced Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with regards to time travel. So
Yeah.
I don't think I was going back to
That
far.
Got it.
Yeah.
I bet you Zach was more from a history perspective. Pete, on the other hand, he's like, you know what? I should have made a different choice there.
If I could do that over again.
If I could save that $5.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, isn't that why people want to time
Totally,
travel?
yeah.
They want to make different choices or see something fun and cool
Yeah.
that they missed because they're, whatever.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
I get it.
Okay. Pete, we talked about favorite foods. This is clearly very important to our conversation. Do you have one? And I have to say to everybody who's listening, Pete has the best food stories ever. The man has connections to any type of cuisine you could ever imagine. So I am so curious to know, Pete.
Well, with that lead in, but Phil and I, we had a conversation not too long ago, and it's actually I love pizzas.
Yeah, wood-fired pizza, right?
Wood-fired, coal-fired. Yeah. I'm not just a.
That's your go-to.
That's my go-to, and obviously with the state fair starting in the next, I'll be out there more than one time sampling a little bit of.
Are there good
everything,
pizzas out there? Because I'm going. I'm planning on going.
I'm really not a pizza guy at the state fair. I'm traditional, the
How do
Pronto
you
Pop
figure
or
him
I'm not
out?
gonna argue about whether a Pronto Pop or corn dog because people get really
Sensitive
about that. But
Can we talk about what the difference is? Now this is the episode. What a Pronto Pup versus corn dog. Do we know? Does anyone know?
Well, people will correct me all the time, but one has like cornmeal and
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
So there actually
Sure.
is a real.
There is a difference.
Different flavor.
I am not the expert in it, but I have friends that are very passionate about
Yeah.
which you
Yeah.
prefer. So,
That'll be our 2-hour special.
yes. Yeah.
Pronto Pup versus corn dog.
We're going down that road. Hey, but from a pizza perspective, okay, wood-fired, fine, you're
Yep, yep.
classy, right? But what about you just need a frozen pizza? Oh, you don't stoop to that level.
No, not usually.
I love it.
I love it.
I'm not a snob. I mean, I will do a
This is
Tombstone
so
or a
great.
Jack's Pizza.
In an emergency.
In a pinch, right,
Right,
right.
where you won't make
You got a
it.
council meeting and you don't got a lot of
Sure.
time to eat.
Yeah.
Noted.
But if I'm
Okay.
going to start endorsing, I need some cash for
That's
that.
just
Yeah,
gonna
we're not
say,
sponsored by.
I know,
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
to that
DiGiorno.
level.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is great.
Well, Pete, just to transition off of
Yep.
food and superpowers and corn dogs and Pronto Pups, all of the hard-hitting,
Yep.
heavy topics. You are the public safety director. So for those who don't know, police chief is technically in your title.
Sure.
That's probably what a lot of people do know you as.
Yes.
But as a public safety director, what is it that you do? What do you oversee as
Right.
the public safety director?
And I do get asked that often.
Do you really?
Yeah, because the public safety model it's not unique, but it's not everywhere. A lot of cities do have a police department and a fire department. We operate under one umbrella. There's just a lot more efficiencies to that. So with shared staff and whatnot. But so as the director of public safety, yes, I'm also the police chief. That's required statutorily to have a chief law enforcement officer. But I oversee the police department and fire and EMS and emergency management. So it's kind of and then we have, we shared support staff, so they work with all divisions.
So how does that break out? That's quite the large department. You've got fire, EMS, and police.
Yes.
There's a lot underneath those umbrellas.
Yep.
So what all is in your department?
Sure.
Or in your purview?
Well, I can tell you, I've surrounded myself with a wonderful leadership team. I'm not the expert in everything. So when you look at our fire department, they also oversee EMS. So I have a fire chief that I oversee.
Right.
He has two deputy fire chiefs, and so we have the different chain of command, and then obviously within the police department we have different areas with the patrol. That's what most people see, but we also have our
When people think cops, they're probably
when they
really
think-
referring to patrol.
they see the squad cars,
Yeah.
and but obviously then there's the investigations, that things you don't see. We have case management officer, but each of those levels I also do have a captain that oversees that, and then we also have an emergency management division,
Right.
and that is not just, people often think emergency management, police, fire, but obviously our public works team, our planning, everyone, parks, we're all involved in that. Because if there's a true emergency or something in the community, it's not necessarily going to be just a police function.
Could be all hands on deck.
All hands in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. IT, you name it, they're all coming.
Yeah. You'll have Emily out there
Yeah.
pulling people over.
I'm often impressed. Here's the thing. I couldn't keep a straight face. If I had to pull somebody over, I'd either be giggling or be scared to death, one of the two. So I'm always impressed, Peter. These folks are out there and they take their job seriously. I'm so impressed. Right?
We're able to put on our game face.
Yeah, I can't
You treat
do
people
that.
with respect, dignity, and it makes
Absolutely.
our job easier then.
Right? Yeah. Pete, you've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
Like,
I'm doing the math in my head.
You are. And,
But-
I've seen a picture of young Pete, by the way. It is great. But tell us, how did you end up where you are, Pete?
Sure.
How did you get here? Give us the
Yeah,
cliff
yeah.
notes.
Yeah, I wish I had a really interesting story or, something that, but honestly, it was, back in the early 90s, one of my childhood neighbors was one of our police officers in town, and I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go in college, and he took me on a ride along. So Officer McClellan brought me out, and I was like, hey, I'm hooked. And
That's how you got the bug.
yeah, I got the
Interesting.
bug, and I applied for a community service officer job in 1992, so just over 33 years of service to the city, so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That was all it took. So, and perhaps, that was a couple years back, but do you remember anything from the ride along that stuck with you where you were like, oh, I can,
Yeah, what hooked you in?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready to do this? Or was it just in general? You
I think it was in general.
Yeah.
I was kind of raised with my dad was my dad was a Lions Club member. He was big into the athletic association, so I was brought up always serving, helping people, and it just felt like a good fit. You know me from walking around the office. I'm all over the place. I'm not a guy that can really sit behind a desk for 8 hours. So,
And you know everyone in Cottage Grove, I'm convinced. All 42,000 people,
Yeah.
you know them.
quite a few of them with
in some way, shape, or
yeah,
form.
between me and my brothers growing, in town.
Yeah.
Get to know a lot of people, and I still stay involved. But yeah, I think it was the uniqueness of the job that every day something was
Different.
different. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's kind of cliche when people say that, oh, I want to help people or make a difference, and I don't know if that's why I initially did it because I wanted to make a difference, but
Yeah.
33 years later, I feel like I have made someone. I have
at
enough
some
people
point.
that come up and have a good conversation. Or like, hey, remember this? And
Yep.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're touching people sometimes on the worst day of their lives.
Right.
There's something terrible that's happened. And you're kind of helping them get through that. It's a tragedy
Yeah.
or whatever, or even just the everyday, like you mentioned, giggling, pulling someone over. But that's important too, even if it's just a taillight that's out and they're there to kind of educate and help that person get it fixed.
Sure.
Like that's every bit as important, right? So,
That's a good point, Phil. Pete, can you confirm or deny? Our officers out there are not out there always to find the bad things, right? They're out there to also educate.
education's a big part of it.
Huge.
Right.
When you look at our stats, people are like, oh, why didn't they get a ticket? We're not out there. It's not all about the revenue. And when you look at the revenue from a citation, the city doesn't get that much of it back. It goes court fee, all these
places.
other things.
Yeah.
But we want the behavior to stop.
Right.
And
Yeah.
a ticket isn't always the way to do that. And
Yeah.
you
I
want
think-
people to be safe,
Right.
and said- and exhibit safe behaviors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'd slow down if I got pulled over.
No.
I know that for sure. Yeah. But I'm also a rule follower, Pete, so.
Pete's going to follow you back to the office.
I know, he totally is. I should
Set the cruise control to exactly 30.
Yeah.
I know. Now I'm afraid to drive home tonight.
No.
Kyle, what else do we want to know about Pete, Phil?
Pete, what's something about your role that people might not know about?
yeah,
or maybe
that's a
about the
good one.
department?
Well, I think just that what is a public safety department?
Right.
You hear that more and more like, so you're the police chief, but you work with fire,
It's
so
all encompassing.
It's all
How does that work?
encompassing. And
Yeah.
it's really just a lot of those efficiencies, just like we see amongst our directors that, we're in the one building, so I can go meet with finance.
Yeah.
We all have a piece of it. And I'm always reminded that public safety has 48% of the city's budget. So we're very aware of that. So, when you ask about like, really, what do I do? A lot of it is, policies, and we have short-term, long-term goals. Budget is a big part of it. And, I like to say, well, I do payroll. I'm not the guy that enters everything in or writes
The calculator in
Right,
Pete's
yeah,
office
yeah.
probably barely works.
Yeah, so yeah.
I'm
yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't even know if there's batteries in the calculator
Yeah.
anymore.
It's
But
just a paperweight.
yeah.
Yeah.
So really, a lot of it is just oversight and making sure I tell people all the time, I've surrounded myself
With a team that
really
works,
good,
yeah.
really good people. So
Yeah.
that makes my job easier.
Yeah.
So
And it ends up, it's a well-oiled machine. Right?
It seems to be, yeah.
And you find the efficiencies where
Yeah.
you need to, and
yeah.
there's something to be said for that.
And are there any issues, maybe projects, things that you've worked on? You said 33 years you've been
Yep.
with the department. So
Sure.
over that time, anything that you've worked on that you are like particularly proud of?
Well, I have to go pretty far back, but no, 1998, I started as the school resource officer, and that was the first school resource officer that we had in the high school. Prior to that, we
Ever.
had, yeah,
Wow.
So, and that was, I felt like I kind of laid the foundation for that. And so I still communicate with teachers that were there, principals. So, I mean, when I look back at my
The teachers
career,
from when you started as
yeah,
the
when I was an
SRO.
SRO, now they're the senior teachers up there, and principals, and So when I look back, but really since I was promoted to the director position in 2018, I mean, I started, and then shortly after that, we had civil unrest, and then we had COVID, and we just had everything going on. But our department weathered it really well. The community support we had during that time. So really the date when I retire and I look back, it's going to be some of my early times as a detective, or just the fun times, the camaraderie I had as a midnight officer, midnight sergeant. But now leading up to that is, I think I'm leaving the department. I'm not retiring. That's not my announcement.
Cheapers, criminy, Pete.
We almost broke some news here.
Golly.
But I think when I leave, I can look at even the last 5 or 6 years that I think I'm setting us up for success in the future and the succession planning.
It's the next phase.
I have a whole group of people that they're ready.
Yep.
They'll
step in.
They'll jump in and do a really good job.
It's not like the
ready.
TV show Succession.
No.
It's all cutthroat and
No.
It's you guys are working well together.
Yeah. They're not trying to push me down the steps.
Well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, what do you love to work on day to day? What issues do you like the most?
Again, what led me to this is something different every single day. I don't have the excitement of being out on the calls or anything, but just reviewing some of the reports and seeing the good work that the officers do. That when I started, it was a shoplifter, a domestic assault. These officers now are dealing with the most complex cases, frauds, forgery.
Yeah.
The technology. I didn't have to.
You can't even make it up.
Right. I drove around on a squad without a computer, without a camera. Now they have all this different technology. So,
Right.
it's exciting to see them catch the bad guy using this technology, and and just on the other side of it, every morning seeing the medicals we went on, and what a fabulous team of paramedics. They really, not many people get up in the morning and go through the daily report, at their job and be like, oh, we saved 3 people. They did a Narcan on the,
Right.
It's
That's
pretty
lives
rewarding, and it's not me doing it, but it's the people I work with.
Right. It's the support that you give to that team that
Right.
helps them to be successful.
And legitimate life-saving
It
stuff.
is. It
I mean, that
is.
is like,
I know.
it's got
I think
to
you
make
said
you
it.
and make everyone that's doing that really proud of doing that kind of work.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, I mean, it was always, we deal with people on their worst day, crisis. Most people, you deal with death a couple times in your life.
Right.
My team is dealing with that every single day.
Every single day.
It's different people, but
But still.
yeah.
It's continuous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete, I mean, I'm lucky enough I get to hear a lot of your stories. One thing folks need to know is Pete maintains connections. I mean, not only internally in City Hall, right? I mean, he checks in on you, make sure things are going well.
He does check in on you.
He does,
Yeah,
right?
he does. I like that.
And it's always a fantastic story. I mean, I don't know if you know this, Phil, but he just rebuilt his deck. I mean, it's impressive. And so I guess where I'm going with this is, we're supposed to make sure that folks know we're real people. But
Well, if we're going to brag about rebuilding a deck, my wife.
How many
Carrie-
things went wrong?
Actually, not many. Me and my wife are still married 3 weeks after this, and so
Well, congratulations.
She gets credit for this. She pushed. She did a lot of it. We painted a bedroom last weekend. We're still married after that,
See?
and we did it as a team. So, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You make it happen.
Right, yeah.
But I'm curious, Pete, what is your best, vacation? We've chatted with other directors that have been here, and they travel and go. Tell me, what's your favorite place you've been? Folks are curious.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to go with Maui because that's where me and my wife got married.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can't brag about like a golf trip to Myrtle Beach with the buddies or something. So
You make good choices. That's good, Pete.
Yeah. So family vacations. I've been to 49 states. I have
No
one
kidding.
left.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
One state left.
Where do we have to go?
I have to go to Vermont.
All right, we'll book a ticket.
yeah.
Phil, can we put
Maple
that?
syrup, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So about 6 years or so ago, we brought my mom out to Boston. I got to go up to like New Hampshire, and then we went to Portland, Maine. So I love to travel.
That is
and
awesome,
so,
Pete.
But it was like an hour and a half out of the way, and I'm like,
Why didn't you just do it?
I'll get there someday.
You got to do it in a more direct way.
Yeah.
And make it more meaningful.
Yeah.
Rather than just drive
Not
across
to
state
say we
line
drove
and
through.
then-
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I would have to go back to favorite trip was
Yeah.
going to Hawaii, and then our family with my in-laws, we'd go on a cruise every year, and those were always pretty
Memorable.
pretty memorable. And then
Yeah.
I won't even get into my golf trips with.
Right, that's a whole
that's a
different.
whole-
That's another
that's
episode.
another-
That's for the next
the
episode.
special episode.
Golfing with Pete.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
right.
month's
Right, yeah.
Grovecast
Yeah,
podcast.
the
Well,
underground.
You would think I could come in here and talk about being a scratch golfer with all the golfing I do, but I am not. We won't. We won't talk about handicaps, but
No,
I love to get on the course, whether it's just a fundraiser tournament or just with the friends. So
Right,
look
right.
forward to that.
Oh, Pete.
Well, sadly, that's all the time we have.
You know, time
with our
flies
friend
when you
Pete.
start yapping. Yeah.
It's true. It really
know,
does.
I know.
And I had a blast, Pete, and we really thank you for joining us today, for your time. You've got a lot to do. And you said that you appreciate that every day is different.
Yep.
I'm guessing you didn't plan on being on a podcast at some point in your career, so
ju-
thank you for indulging us.
Yeah.
It just ended up on my calendar, and I
You didn't ask any
and
questions.
I
You
clicked. I just hit accept because I was free, and
Everybody heard that. Pete
Yeah.
follows directions.
I do.
That was
Yeah.
good.
He showed up
I think it's
and-
wonderful you guys are doing this.
It's fun.
Well, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's fun.
yeah.
Pete, thank you. It was fun to chat.
Thanks for
It was
having
good.
me.
Well, thanks, Pete, for joining us. Thank you all for listening. This has been the Grovecast, a City of Cottage Grove municipal podcast. You can catch episodes monthly, and to listen or download, find us at CottageGroveMN.gov/thegrovecast or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you to True Lens Community Media for producing the Grovecast, and stay tuned for our next episodes where we'll move on to other departments, city services, or other topics. Thanks for listening.